Welcome back, innovators. I know it's been quite a while since I've actually made a video reaction that is actually about technology. Now, in this three-part series, we're going to be diving deep into the surveillance state, privacy versus totalitarian, and etc. And with that in mind, this video is actually from the Jimmy Dore show. If you haven't noticed, he is a comedian and he actually pokes fun on both sides, and we're going to enjoy the freaking shit out of this and actually talk about it. So let's get right into it. This will play.
I would be scared if I was you. That's all. Why you look at me like that, Steph?
I'm trying to be positive. I know. I understand what you're saying
Look what they
because
did
it's
to
so innovative.
Look what they did
and
to
it
the
goes
crypto
against-
people at the beginning of crypto. They put him in jail. There's a guy we just interviewed. He's still on house arrest with an ankle monitor because he was doing crypto, and the people who run the world were afraid of it at the time. Well, now they're all getting into crypto, yet they still have those guys in jail.
Gosh.
Everybody, welcome back. We have special guest with us. Hakeem Anwar is a technologist, entrepreneur, activist who left a corporate software engineering career to focus on the threats posed by technology on personal freedom. He's the founder of Above Agency, which creates privacy-first devices like the Above phone, and the creator of the hashtag Take Back Our Tech educational initiative. His work empowers individuals to reclaim digital independence through pro-privacy, open-source software, and secure communication services. Welcome to the show, Hakeem Anwar. How are you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming.
Hey, Jimmy. It's good to finally meet you, and excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
So tell us what this is all about. What are the things you're worried about, and how does your technology fix it?
Yeah, so I wanted to chat with you about the data center issue because I think that's the most important issue we're facing right now, and I don't think people realize how their phone and laptop fits into it.
So tell me how it fits into it.
So, yeah, this for the past 6 months, I've been working on something called the AI Data Center Map. It's a list of all the data centers in the United States. You can visit it at aidatacentermap.org.
Here I have it right here. Here it is. Right. So tell me what I'm looking at.
Yeah. So in 2025, 6 companies spent $2.5 trillion on data center projects. That's Project Stargate, OpenAI, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Meta, and then everyone else piled on. This is, speculation or
As
greediness.
an investor, I am very concerned. Why does anybody need this many data centers? Oh, I know why. It's because they want to surveillance the people and shut everything down. That's why. And speaking of which, this week is America's 250th birthday over there. And we're at the point in our country's history that we are going through severe amount of changes, whether it brings the downfall or there's a revolution. Regardless of what happens, we're going to go through a tough time no matter what. So I think, in my opinion, and I can say this myself as a potential small business owner / investor, I'm very concerned that these data centers are going to shut all these innovations down. One day this could happen to you, and this could happen to me. This could happen to anybody if we don't put our foot down and say no, because this is a very, very big concern. So if you hear anything about data centers, just keep a very close eye on those things that are being made. Keep a very close eye because it is a very big contentious concern that's just going to keep on being talked about. I mean, no matter how many billions and trillions of dollars they try to spend on shutting down, the conversation will never go away. So yeah, they try to figure out, okay, how are we going to numb these people? Well, the answer is social media. And that's exactly what's going on right now at this very moment.
From these other real estate developers. So everyone jumped into data centers. And what we're looking at now is that from data from this map, which I believe to be the most comprehensive resource on the subject, we're looking at 384 hyperscalers that have.
Oh yeah, notice that is all in the United States and some parts of Canada. Just notice that it's all in the United States, or at least it's being built. That no wonder why people are so angry about it. No freaking wonder. That is a lot of data centers. Oh, and speaking of which, mind you, this could actually have harmful impacts in our environment and our water. So it might, who knows, it might turn into Flint, Michigan, which for those of you that don't know, Flint is actually a very small town in Michigan. We all remember what happened to Flint, and next thing you know, people forgot about it. I mean, how are the people doing in Flint after all those data centers? I mean, I'm very, very, very sad about it. Can you imagine if every city turned into Flint? That's if we don't stand up for what's right, or otherwise it will be turned into Flint, Michigan. So let's not turn into Flint. Let's actually be better than that and help our fellow neighbor out. Even if we don't, even if we don't agree on everything, it's still better to actually help out instead of just being a harmful idiot that actually likes to see things burnt down completely. Or AKA the do nothingers. Yeah, that's a new term that we will be explaining later on in the next few videos.
Already been built using about 10% of the total US power demand, and that's at a low floor. And we're only about halfway through this build out. There are another 300 data centers planned.
And so, what are the? So you're saying that the data centers that are already built
are changing, and if you act right now, are you tired of your corporate overlords owning you? It's time that you own your freedom with RetroFocus 85. It will save 20% of your entire order, regardless of your new and old customer. You get to apply this promo code on nomadicpath.com. And if you act right now before September 15th, 2026, you will actually save a significant amount of money, your freedom and liberty, and your life. Act right now before September 15th, 2026.
Of the power in the United States?
Yeah, that's the floor. They probably use more, but yeah. So there's 35% of these already built data centers. I don't have data for. So this map is to help crowdsource that information. So yeah, out of the 300 that are remaining to be built, the AI power use will quadruple, and then at that point it'll get to 40% of the U.S. power supply.
But Kevin O'Leary tells us that they're building their own power plants around these data centers. What do you say to that?
I have lots of doubts about that. One, it's impossible to build so much power. It simply cannot happen, right? Already we're looking at the amount of data centers that are already built. That would be 12 full-size nuclear plants to power it. So realistically, they'll offset some of the electricity. A lot of these developers are building on-site nuclear or hydroelectric or all these different things. But in reality, they're going to be pulling from the grid too. And we're already seeing major backups in grid interconnection. So in the Northeast, we're seeing the wholesale power costs triple, actually. And we're also seeing that in ERCOT. So it's impossible to say that they'll offset it with the power they build.
And, you have so the ones in red, according to this, this is where the current water stress are. So if it's red, it's a severe water stress, and if it's like yellow, it's mild. So it doesn't say. First of all, why do they need all this water? How does water cool a data center? Why can't they just use air conditioning?
Great question.
That's a really good question. Yeah, so like the bad guys here, the ones we should be scared of, are these hyperscale data centers. And before these AI data centers, we used to run everything on normal data centers, which used a reasonable amount of power. So just to give you some perspective, a server rack in a conventional data center used about 5 kilowatts. So a hyperscale server rack uses about 20 times as much. And the reason it uses so much power is because these AI chips have billions of transistors inside them. So the NVIDIA Blackwell, popular professional AI chip, has 200 billion transistors inside of it. So these AI chips, each of them are performing a trillion calculations per second. These things get so hot at full load, it's comparable to the surface of the sun. So, they've got to cool that down somehow. And that's why they're using all this power and water.
But so what do? They spray it with water? I don't understand where the water comes in.
Well, yeah. So they pull it from the ground, or they pull it directly from municipalities. They usually have contracts with municipalities, and what they do is there's different cooling systems, but essentially they output the heat and have water nearby so that it heats up the water, and then they just cycle the water out through cooling towers, and they just let it evaporate and disappear into the atmosphere. Now, a lot of these data centers are now saying they have closed loop systems, but in the reality, we just have to take their word on it, because there aren't any companies that are fully even metering their water use. So they say, hey, we've got these new efficient cooling technologies. And I say, okay, let's put a water meter on that everyone can see how much water you're actually using. When I looked at Google's transparency report, which Google's supposed to be the most transparent, I found this little thing in the fine print. Let me bring it up 1 second. So just in this fine print, they're saying that, hey, the water withdrawal is based on metered data when it's available. At the offices where it isn't available, we do estimates. Now, the thing is, all right, fine. Metering isn't available all the time, but if you look at these transparency...
Yeah, that by itself actually is worth making a video about, because those things are really important. Water withdrawal, consumption, like the water consumption that we all drink, and then there's the withdrawal, which I think actually turns into sewer disposable, which is technically in all of the houses in America. I mean, can you imagine the data center just clumping all of the sewage over there? Yeah, that sounds disgusting, doesn't it? Yeah, it makes us think, do we really even need those data centers? I mean, even if it's against China, which right now we are losing the war, sadly, against China because of a multipolar world that we just talked about months ago. I recommend y'all actually checking it out, because it's a very important video that actually is relevant in today's world. Even if you didn't like it, just at least be aware. That's what we're facing right now. And I hate to be the guy, but America is not doing very good right now. Yes, it's turning 250, but we gotta realize we're not number one anymore. We were in the 90s, but those days are gone. Those days are long, long gone. And the only thing we could really do right now is just to reject both parties, which, by the way, both Republican and Democrat are at the lowest approval rating in US history and global history for the very first time in its lifetime since its creation, which is extremely unbelievable. But at the same time, it was going to happen regardless. It was going to happen. And independents are indeed the largest voting bloc in history now, which means we have a chance to create a third party that actually represents the interest of the American people, regardless of what beliefs they hold, even if it's unrecognizable. We have to find a way to work together at some point. We can't just keep on fighting each other all the time. It's just going to get old, especially now with the Epstein files and all the corruption that's been unveiled in real time. People are going to get tired of the left versus right paradigm lie. They're going to get tired of it. And High Impacts knows this. I know this. A lot of other people that have critical thinking brains, like Bo Reflect and me, and such as Jimmy Dore, we're all going to get tired of this left versus right BS. They're going to get tired, and rightly so, because we can't continue to divide one another. because those levers of power are just quickly disappearing. Yeah, it's better than not realizing the truth, and it's just better to see it too late. The truth is the truth. And if we really can't see what's on the other side of the world, then we're doomed.
If you enjoy videos like this, and you're actually interested in videos like this one that just happened recently, do me a favor, like and share and comment down below and subscribe to this channel right here and right now. With that in mind, I'll see you in the next video, Innovator.